What's up again, guys? Yeah, it's me, Dovahkiin, and welcome back to my Baldur's Gate 3 series. And before we begin, be sure to hit on the subscribe button for more great videos. Okay, in the previous episode, we cleared the Whispering Depths by decimating the Face Spider Matriarch, and unlocked and read an ancient tome, the Necromancy of Fae. In today's vid, we will explore another region, the Risen Road. And instead of the broken bridge at the north of the Blighted Village, our starting point is just a little bit north of where we found Scratch. Anyway, in case you haven't noticed, instead of LZ, I have Wyll in my party. Alright, let's just jump right in.
Just to remind you, I'm merely a spawn. It won't count. But if you want a true vampire, I'm happy to recommend one.
Sharp as ever.
Trust no one.
All's well that ends not as bad as it could have.
Astarion, how is the rat diet going?
It may soon come to an end if you don't shut your mouth.
This is one of the best items for rogues, and obviously, I'm gonna put it on star.
Still breathing, despite everything. Never wanted the easy path.
Take note of this key.
A key? Wonder what it opens.
Now let's meet a potential companion, Karlach, who I simply referred to as Carla in early access. By the way, mind you that, besides having a parasite in his head as well, Wyll's reason in joining is for us to help him hunt down Carla, whom he considers a devil and a threat to Faerun.
Moving in.
One horn, the stink of Avernus. Advocatus Diaboli.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you. Bloody right. An honor to be chased by the Blade of Frontiers, but
A great heat roars through you, her heat, fiery as the hells. Then you're lost in visions of demonic armies as you tear through a landscape of fire and blood, the Blood War. You saw it from above as the Nautiloid passed through Avernus. This woman was on the front line.
what was that?
Evidence. Proof that you're a devil. A gladiator in the archdevil Zariel's army.
I can explain, but it's a whole situation. If you just hear me out.
Another vision. Karlach's blade raised, slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Her rage and desperation seep into you. She is a victim of the Blood War, not an agent of it.
She's trying to trick us. Don't believe her lies.
You saw the truth. I never wanted to serve Zariel. I was enlisted in her army against my will. Forced to fight, and fight I did. When I saw an opportunity to get away, I took it. Finally home. Or near it, anyway.
You served her! That's enough to damn you!
Wyll catches his breath and his lips straighten. Sheer dread twists his face.
You don't know what you're saying! You're asking me to trust a devil!
Listen to sense now. I don't want this to end badly for either of us. You know monsters, right? Better than anyone. Look into my eyes. Can't you see I'm not what you think?
Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Oh, thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye. Truce.
I'm Karlach, but you already knew that. And you are... Well met, soldier. Nice to meet a friendly around here. It's been tough going so far. I may not be a devil, but I can put the Blade's reputation to work. How would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards? Little background, if your moral compass needs something to point at. You already know I fought in the Blood War. I was good. Really good. Turns out, I've got a knack for killing demons. That made me a valuable asset. Zariel, the archdevil herself, made me as her personal attack dog. I played along until I could get the fuck out of there. But devils don't like to lose their assets. Zariel liked it so little. She sent a bunch of goons, so-called Paladins of Tyr, to take me back. Problem is, I'm not going. Fuck yes! They cornered me outside the Tollhouse just up the hill. Doubt they've gone far after the scorching I gave them. Then we can work on evicting this parasite and take Faerun by their short hairs. Sound good? I'd hug you if it wouldn't scorch your skin off. Hang on though. Looks like you've got enough backup at your side. Not sure there's room for me. I'll catch up with you when it's time to camp for now. But don't get to any of the fun stuff without me. Got it?
What path lies before me?
You've been witness to a pantomime, I'm sorry to say. And I've played my part all too poorly. I can say only this. Karlach's not the only one who's had a villain's knife held to their throats.
Gods, what now? Do you have a tax collector on your tail?
You're closer than you think. One night soon, when we make camp, the veil will be lifted, and I'll pay my penance. You're not in any danger, I promise. I can't say the same about me.
Before we head back to camp, let's investigate the Tollhouse to verify Karlach's intel.
No traps, please. Best be on my way.
Don't sell your soul coins, cause Karlach can use them to gain the Infernal Fury buff. This woman is a merchant, and she won't trade with you if Karla is in your squad.
Need any supplies? We've fewer mouths to feed now. The Lord of Justice sent us after a devil haunting this area. We squared off against her. We lost. Talk to Anders if you want the details. I don't have it in me to recount the horror.
Now let's speak with the dead.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
Infernal servant. So long I've forgotten why. Zariel's brute destroyed me. The pact. Power. Fallen. Lady Zariel. Power. Strength.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
There, we just confirmed it. These guys are really working for Zariel.
Cut it out. There's worse than Knowles out there.
Nothing we need to worry about.
How about a dragon? Would that worry you?
I'd give it a bloody good fight, that's for sure.
Only thing you give a dragon is bad gas. At ease, friend. You're welcome to rest here.
Before you confront them, loot everything in this Tollhouse. Nothing is labeled in red, so these pretenders won't give a fuck. Besides, Carla will destroy everything later, so better do it now. And that's not even half of what this place holds. More loot awaits us down the vault.
That corpse smells ripe. Enough time for its killer to have moved on.
I'm just gonna beeline to the notable stuff.
I'm ready. Whatever it takes.
We've got a long road ahead.
Trent, be cautious.
Very well. I'm way too big.
This burrow hole leads outside and vice versa, and you can enter holes like this in 3 ways. First, you can cast Disguise Self, and transform into any of the small races. Then further shrink by using the Reduce spell. The second way is to simply go into gaseous form, and I don't have the description here cause that spell unlocks at level 5. And lastly, if you're a druid, you can just wild shape into a cat.
Be wary. This place is trapped.
Let's open the hidden vault.
Where am I needed? Keeping pace.
That did something all right. Just not sure what.
Whatever comes, I'm ready.
Step carefully.
There traps about?
All of those traps are linked to this marble plate. Disarming this makes them useless.
Still alive, so that's progress. Watch how you go. There's a trap.
Here are the two most notable items: a +1 great axe and an uncommon pair of gloves for Paladins. Back in episode 8, I demonstrated how to properly steal stuff, the sacred idol to be exact, without causing game-breaking bugs. Now I'm gonna show you the same thing, but on pickpocketing instead.
There is work to do.
Yes, let's. Ready or not? Let's cut a pass. Not even a challenge. Don't mind if I do. A little souvenir. A quick profit. Like candy from a gnome. Blessed oblivious. Watch your back.
Don't teleport out of the scene. That might cause serious bugs. Instead, like what I did, just run away, but not too far, so you can still know what the NPC is doing. Observe my log panel.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
Once the NPC stops searching,
wanted the easy
go
path.
back to trade with him. If they interact with you as if nothing happened, you pulled it off bug-free.
I need a quick word.
I'm still looking to shift some supplies. Don't have much to spare, but it's more than we can carry.
Okay, let's go back to the camp to progress Wyll and Karlach's stories.
Hell's fire. She's coming.
Wyll, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
Wyll, you absolute stinker. You kept me a secret? Time to let the Hellcat out of the bag. Call me Mizora. I'm Wyll's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank. We had a deal, Wyll. But Karlach's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
That's no kind of talk for a lady. By the way, Karlach, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark. Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless. Karlach meets the criteria, pet. Trust me on this. The point? Oh, yes. Thanks for the reminder.
Wyll burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms. Get used to the new form, pet. There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo. Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade. Karlach, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you. Oh, and Wyll, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
I'll be honest, soldier. I'm reeling. Wyll hardly knows me, but he chose my life over his. Been a long time since someone stuck their neck out for me like that. You can say that again. When he was chasing me through Avernus, I thought he was just another sad merc. How wrong I was.
Actually, I'm quite intrigued. How does Carla know Mizora? Let's ask her.
What's the story? We were both part of Zariel's inner circle. Her by choice, me by force. In the grand scheme of things, I'm inconsequential to Zariel. Sure, I've got the engine, but I wasn't even her strongest fighter. She favored me like a child favors a captive pet. Mizora envied the attention, I suppose. I'm sure when Zariel gave her the order to hunt me down, Mizora was delighted. No kidding. The fighting, the chaos, the betrayal. It had the makings of a good stage show, but I did not want to be one of the players. I don't know. You'd think she'd have more important things to do. Devils and their pride.
I wonder what the next move is. I must keep going.
No time to rest. Very well.
God's damn her, straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mizora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings.
Warlock pacts tend to be unforgiving from what you know of them. Wyll was lucky he didn't face a more severe punishment.
I'd count my lucky stars for it, but I reckon luck is on holiday. I'm only alive because my patron still has use for me. It's Mizora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast. possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to. It could well be. She has the blighted thing. What I know of it is simply what has engraved itself upon my memory. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mizora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads. We can, I'm sure of it. How glad I am that you see me as more than my patron's pet.
On a side note, if you killed Karla, Mizora will reward Wyll with the Infernal Robe. And there's actually a way to do that without killing her permanently. But I just don't want to risk it, cause that might cause bugs down the road. Anyway, some people say that Act 3 is short. I beg to differ. That act will be short as fuck if you killed or abandoned your companions, or if you didn't give a fuck about their personal quests. It's basically locking yourself out of game content. Keeping both Wyll and Karla alive means that I have more to do in later acts. Remember that this is not just your story, but theirs as well. And Act 3 is where all of their stories culminate. Anyhow, I'm glad that Larian decided to rewrite Wyll's character. He's definitely likable now as opposed to what he was in early access. And speaking of companions, Gale is once again in dire condition and is asking for another magical item to consume. And as I've said before, don't worry, because all he needs in Act 1 are just 3 items. And upon consuming this third one, he will reveal the truth about his condition.
I'll have to speak slowly. I'm finding it quite difficult to concentrate with my condition gnawing at my insides like a teething displacer kitten. That is most gratifying to hear. May I? Thank you. Good gods. It hardly has any effect. Oh, Mistra, have mercy on us all. Listen, I need to speak to you, to all of you. It would be unconscionable of me to remain silent. I might just be about to remedy that. You have to know who I was. You have to know who I really am. What I am is a walking shadow of the promise I once held. I'm what one might call a wizard prodigy, who from an early age could not only control the weave, but compose it, much like a musician or a poet. Such was my skill that it earned me the attention of the mother of magic herself, the Lady of Mysteries, the goddess Mistra. She revealed herself to me and she became my teacher. In time, she became my muse, and later even my lover. Oh, yes. We enjoyed each other's company. Body, mind, and soul. But even so, I desired more. You see, no matter how powerful a wizard we mortals can become, we never scratch more than the surface of the weave. Mistra keeps us in check. There are boundaries she doesn't let us cross. Yet, every time I was with her, I stood on the precipice, gazing into the wonders that lay beyond. I sought to cross her boundaries. I try to convince her. I pouted, I pleaded, swore my ambition was only to serve her better. She only smiled and told me to be contented. But inconceivable as it seems to me now, I shared a bed with a goddess, and yet I wasn't satisfied. So I sought to prove myself worthy to her instead. We come now to the crux of my folly. Shall I share the story behind it, or would you rather head straight to its sordid finale? Very well. Here goes. Once upon a very long time ago, a mighty lord lived in a tower. A flying tower, to be precise. I'll save his history for another time, but the gist of it is that he sought to usurp the goddess of magic so that he could become a god himself. And he almost managed, but not quite. And his entire empire, Netheril, came crashing down around him as he turned to stone. The magic that was unleashed that day was phenomenal. Roiling like the prime chaos that outdates creation. Even the weave itself could not withstand the onslaught. It fractured, then shattered, and all magic was lost to the mortal realms until the day Mystra returned. She restored the weave, reuniting all its scattered shards. Or so I thought. Until, in the course of my studies, I learned of a book. Netherese tome in which a piece of the fractured weave had been sealed beyond her reach. What if, I thought, what if, after all this time, I could return this lost part of herself to the goddess? The answer was to try. And the outcome was to fail. I was certain that this deed of raw power, draped in romance, would convince Mystra to take me by the hand and welcome me into her hitherto forbidden domains. I was mistaken. I obtained the fabled book and took it into my study. As for what happened next... Here. Place your hand over my heart. Let me show you.
You feel the tadpole quiver as you realize Gale is letting you in, into the dark. You see through Gale's eyes, staring down the corridors of a dread memory. A book, bound, and suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of blackest weave that pounces. Its teeth, its claws, it's unstoppable as it digs through and becomes part of you. How gods is it ever?
Thankfully, the moment I absorbed the fragment wasn't enough to kill me outright. It was only the beginning. This Netherese blight, this orb, for lack of a better word, is balled up inside my chest. And it needs to be fed. As long as I absorb traces of the weave from potent enough sources, it remains quiet. Were it ever to fully destabilize, however. I will erupt. I don't know the exact magnitude of the eruption, but given my studies of Netherese magic, I'd say even a fragment as small as the one I carry, it'd level a city the size of Waterdeep. We might chance upon a king's collection of magical artifacts around the corner. We might cross paths with a miracle round the bend. Then again, we might not. All of this, it must feel like a betrayal. Say the word, and we'll part ways. That is a great relief. Oh, a great relief indeed. You truly are a soul that steals my own. From all my new rallied heart, I thank you. I thank you all. I understand if you stand against me, I'm humbled if you stand with me. Either way, I will do my best not to let you down. I stand at a precipice, but if you do not give up hope, neither shall I. I'll fight. I'll resist as long as I can. Now, even I am tired of the sound of my own voice. Let us venture forth.
Alright. Star's gonna sit this one, and I'm gonna bring Carla with me, so take note of her gear. That's it. That's all she needs to kick some ass. Now let's respec her, cause I don't like how her default attributes are set.
Let's go!
Ah, another. Thy name has been recorded. I shall be here in thy camp for whenever thou hast need of my services. As thou desire.
Instead of intimidation, I'll give her nature. She defaults to Wild Heart, but I'm gonna go for Berserker. On feats, just like LZ, she's gonna be an athlete, just to even out that SDR. Here's the summary of her stats. Speaking of stats, let's give her a permanent buff. In the last episode, we got a hold of some infernal iron in the blacksmith's basement in the Blighted Village. And we're bringing that, along with Karlach of course, to Damon, here at the Emerald Grove.
Something's on my mind.
Thought I sensed an infernal around here. But you aren't from Elturel. What's your story?
I spent a good bit of time in the Hells. Enlisted against my will by the archdevil Zariel. Same as you, I suppose, if you're from Elturel. The devils were delighted when your city was swallowed up. I thought they had you for keeps. Glad you got out.
I got lucky. It looks like you did too. And you brought some infernal machinery with you.
A little gift from Zariel. Keeps me burning hot.
Very hot by the smell of it. Might be burning out a piston ring or leaking oil. Mind if I take a listen?
Be my guest. But don't get too close or your eyes will melt shut.
really are burning up. Whoever put that engine together tried to house metallurgized demono valves inside a Ragnak's alloy casement. Very risky. I might be able to help, but I'd need infernal iron and a prayer that my hammer will survive the work. That thing isn't meant to operate outside of Ernest. I'm not sure how much longer it'll keep running the way it's going.
Will you be able to turn down the temperature a little? Worried I'm gonna go in for a handshake and singe someone's arm off one of these days.
I'd worry about surviving the night first. But help one, help both. If we can cool you off, it'll stabilize your engine and allow you to touch whomever you please.
Hey, soldier. I think we picked up some of that infernal iron already. What say you? Should I give it to him? Please let this work.
The weight of it. And that blaze of chaos. Can't imagine this where my heart should be. Must be quite the experience. Give me just a moment. And I think... There. You'll have to install it, I'm afraid. I don't think there are thick enough gloves in all the realms to protect from that kind of heat.
That feels... good. I'm still burning hot as hell's hole, but I feel less... changeable. Cheers, mate.
Pleasure. And as for the heat, I haven't got any solutions now, but I'm not giving up. Could be if the combustion chamber had its own insulation, or if we had some kind of enchanted coolant. Find me again in Baldur's Gate. If I'm worth my salt, I'll have figured something out by then. Take care, Karlach. And hopefully the next time I see you, I'll have something promising to report. Pocket any infernal iron you find along the way,
What I wouldn't do for better tools.
Damon's upgrade didn't cool me down, but it did juice me up. I don't think I've ever felt more powerful. Bring it on. Soldier.
Shoes.
This is what we got from that upgrade from Damon. And yes, apparently, I've been mispronouncing his name all this time. Who would have thought that it should sound that way, right? Anyway, let's go back to the Tollhouse.
Soldier. Yeah, let's go straight there. Whatever those fucks are getting up to, it's nothing good. Just to say, by the way, they're not really paladins. Lackeys of the archdevil playing dress-up as paladins of Tyr. No honor among devils.
At the ready.
Back, beast, back!
See, she won't be a merchant if Carla is with you. Anyhow, to remind you again, this is Tactician mode. And I'm gonna try my best to make all the fights in this vid seem rather easy. This battle triggers via dialogue, so I can't use my other advanced tactics, except for the switch method to set up my squad. By the way, just focus on Anders first, cause he's the biggest threat in this fight. Alright, let's confront these fake paladins.
Let's see.
Please, no more. Leave us in peace, and we shall leave you in kind.
Cut the crap, Anders. I know what you are.
Don't let her hurt us. Please, we just want to go home. Zariel? Certainly not. We serve Tyr, Lord of Justice, and no other. Please, mercy. Half of us are badly injured, the other half dead. I admit, we ambushed you. An assignment from our god, Tyr. We thought you a devil, and with your flames you proved us right. But Tyr will not consign us to our death. He is merciful. Leave us, and we'll leave you.
Eager for battle. Repositioning. Active. Whatever comes, I'm ready.
Enough! Enough! I'll not play pretend anymore. Karlach, you're going home in pieces if needs must. And you'll soon learn what it means to ally yourself with the likes of this garbage.
The furnace was never my home. It was my prison. I'm free now. And I'm never going back!
Nothing will stand in my way. Have to keep going.
Time to strike. Let's go. Count on me.
Victory awaits. I will take every advantage. This is your end.
More
Moving.
I wonder if this is worth the cost.
I'm heating up. Down the hatch.
Fuck them. Fuck Sariel. I won't go back. I'm never going back. And if any of Mummy's little friends want to pick up where the others left off, they'll find nothing but a pile of ash. That's right, she won't. She can't. She couldn't even lay a finger.
And that is how you make things easy.
No traps, please.
This is the most significant loot in this place. Anyway, let's just wait until Karlach cools down.
Just try it, sorry.
That ought to do it.
Whew. Had to let off a little steam after facing off with those ignots.
Granted, the fire's lasting a little longer than it should. How do I look? Careful, soldier. If I burn any hotter, I might explode. Engine heats up the whole system enough not to get burned. Hopefully it will hold together long enough to get tuned up. Let's move, huh? I'm running high and in the mood for a fight.
I need to find a way forward.
Okay, stay tuned in for the next episode as we explore more of the Risen Road. And that is all there is for now. Thanks for watching. Also, check out other videos from Sabbath Clan Philippines and don't forget to subscribe. See you on my next vid. Peace out, y'all.